All right, I'd like to call to order this reorganization of our board meeting. I take it everybody's here. Somebody like to approve the agenda? So moved.
Second.
And we do have one public comment from Ray, please.
Hi, everybody. My name is Greg Gens. I have two daughters in the district. I just want to congratulate everybody on being here and starting the new year. It's exciting. We talk a lot about getting ourselves togetherness and unity. I think it would be a great thing that I hear my daughters have participated in several times throughout their school career and saying the pledge. I don't know when we got away from that, but just something I wanted to throw out there at the beginning of this new time. If there's ever been a thought about reinstituting the Pledge of Allegiance, if we ever did that before, I know a lot of school board regular meetings do start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I think that'd be awesome to hear that message of one nation, one Waunakee, one school district. So again, I just want to commend everybody for doing the job you're doing. I'm sure it's not always easy. It's probably not always fun listening to me talk or other people. Sometimes I'm sure it's great. But I just wanted to thank from the bottom of my heart every one of you put in and what those of you new will be putting in here. So thank you very, very much for what you do, and sincerely congratulations to everyone that won their elections. So thank you. And just the idea about the pledge.
Thank you, Greg.
Thanks, Greg.
And we've had all the oaths of office have been completed.
That was just an acknowledgement that those were completed on April 19th.
All right, then we will initiate our board officers by asking nominations for president.
I'd like to nominate Joan.
I second that.
I'd like to nominate Jack.
I'll second that.
Okay, this is the one time that the board can vote by secret ballot. So you have two recommendations between Joan and Jack. So you put one name on there and we'll go with the backup. Okay. So 4-3, Joan.
Joan,
Thank you for that nomination. Again, just try to do the best job I can, and with your help, we'll get through another year. So at this point, I'd like to take nominations for VP. List in front of us, people who are interested in it.
I'll nominate Ted.
That has been nominated. Do you have a second?
Second.
Okay. Another nomination from you.
I'll nominate Mark.
I would second that.
I'll nominate Judy.
And I would second that. So in the past, when we've had 3 people run, I think we've gone through 2 votes. So we narrow it down to 2 people, and then we vote again with the top 2. So we're going to vote on any of the 3 right now. And then we'll take the top two and we'll revote based on the top two. So we have Ted, Judy, and Mark.
Mark? You wanted to approach just the one, right?
Yeah, I did. Just one.
Mark?
So it's very obvious, it's Ted and Mark for the next one.
Now we get down to those two, Ted and Mark. Mark? Mark? Ted? Ted? Ted. So 4 for Ted, 3 for Mark.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Ted. We do have clerk listed next. So, no, it's not next on our sheet, but it's next on our agenda.
What's that?
So clerk-
Oh, clerk.
clerk is next on our agenda, so let's move to clerk.
I'll throw my name in
Okay.
the last second. I can't let Judy walk into it.
Just let it roll
She just,
through.
no one runs against it, but I'll be a late one.
Do you want to hand press it for it?
Well, arm wrestle. please.
I nominate Brian.
Thanks, sir.
Second.
I'll nominate Judy.
Second.
Okay, so between Judy and Becky.
Remember, I bring brownies.
And one.
Yeah, well, what do you want, Mark?
Was like the most United occupied.
Well, now that's- we're really up in the.
But they're not open on Mondays. I mean, we have to-
Drowned our sorrows on Tuesday.
they're not open.
Judy? Ryan? Judy? Ryan? Judy?
Oh.
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 Judy's 4, Brian 3.
What was that again? Just one.
She just can't be beat.
I just had a little something before I came.
Does she have a colored?
I guess the
glass
2
over
other
there?
ones that voted for me will take them to occupy.
That's me.
Lastly, treasurer. And again, we have 2 people who on the sheet are interested, or I guess anybody could throw their name in.
I nominate Jack.
Second. Who was the second?
Mark.
I'll nominate Mark.
Second.
So any other nominations? If not, we will cast a vote for Jacqueline.
Your stack of papers.
Congratulations, Jack.
Thank you. Run out for none. No. Probably lose that one too.
I nominate Katie.
Thanks, Jack. Thank you.
All right, well, forward to the year. I think that it's always good to have new people and new collaboration. So the other part of tonight's agenda, well, there's two more parts, but we have some kind of memberships and designations and meeting time that we need to just do on an official basis yearly. So that happens tonight. Starting with the official newspaper, we usually use the Waunakee Tribune to post our
So moved.
notices.
Second.
Any discussion on that? All in favor of using the Waunakee Tribune, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Our meeting time, our regular board meeting is the second Monday, starting at 7 or at 6 for closed, 7 for open. That has been what we've done in the past.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on that?
Yeah, what we talked about conflicts with other board meetings as a village. Is there anything else on those Mondays?
I think the one thing is it's the joint plan commission, I believe, when there's projects going through that. I think that starts
That's early.
that starts at 5 or 6.
Okay.
It's slight, if it's a longer meeting, there's some overlap. I think you do have people that sometimes try to look.
Any other questions? All in favor of keeping that meeting time, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Legal counsel, we've used Strang Law LLC in the past.
Kirk Strang's our primary contact, but depending on some of the issues that we deal with, we do have other, we do bond counsel, et cetera. That's what working with some other. So move.
Second.
Any discussion on that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. The official depositories, and I know that we had a slight change in this last year, but they're all listed here. We have one community bank. And a few other investment, and a credit card. So using that list.
This is one, Steve, you provided all those. We went out to bid this year on some of those items, so. this is Motion to approve.
Second.
Any questions on any of that for Steve? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. And lastly, membership in the WASB and WIAA.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Setting the annual meeting date, we do that tonight, and again, we try to do that late in the process. The suggestion this year from the administration is to meet on Monday, October 17th at 7 o'clock. Yes, that's just one day. Oh, it's a day earlier. I'm not sure, but-
Motion to approve.
Second. Any questions on that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. And last part of the agenda is to look at the letter that Mark has graciously drafted and revised for us as a statement of support to our staff and some community members. So there are two versions here. I guess we can just open that up for any discussion or comments or preferences.
Right, the major difference is C and what we're calling draft 3. I added administrators in various sections that weren't in the first. And then I reinserted publicly on social media, and particularly in light of the latest thing that came out on being undivided, excuse me.
What was that last comment?
I'm
That
sorry?
what was the last comment you brought out?
Oh, there's a posting on the site called Dane Undivided where they are targeted to specific teachers by name. And their next posting is promising to identify point two specific administrators that they have a problem with for what they did or didn't do.
Thank you, Mark. I think this looks really
I'm
good.
sorry?
I said, thank you, Mark.
Yeah.
I think this looks,
Are you liking the most revised one?
I like the revised one.
inclusive Of the administrators.
yes,
So want the purple.
the purple one I like.
So this is 3, want the purple.
School colors.
Almost
No
couldn't see
emblem
it.
there, no emblem there.
And I'm glad you put in that social media, publicly naming names is hard.
Mhm. So the plan with the statement is it to be read at the next board meeting today and to be put in the Tribune
Ideally, yes.
and to be put on the website.
That was what was talked about at the last meeting where we have our other statements.
And maybe Annie could put it on social media. Or any other thoughts on?
So we can share with staff.
I can tell you, and some of you may have heard the same things at the listening sessions you went to. I had the 3 elementary schools. And I've never been to one in the, I think it was my 4.5 year on the board, where teachers were actually crying and talking about if they could afford to, they'd resign. And they've been waiting to hear that the board has their backs, and it's been silent to them. They appreciate a lot of the things we do, but in terms of these kind of things, they really feel they're teaching in fear. Whether it's, doesn't matter who the teacher is as being named on what website. When one teacher is named, it hits all of them, and they don't know what to do. They're afraid to teach. And they said, almost unanimously, they said, the only thing that keeps them going right now are their kids. And so
What is it that they're scared of the most?
being criticized for
Being
what they're doing in the
criticized.
classroom.
By
Feel they're
parents.
losing, particularly when some things are either taken out of context or not even true.
So some of the open record stuff is what
The open
heard is-
record things,
what we heard is, when somebody requests an open records, they could get slides or something that was passed along and stuff like that. Again, taken out of context, you're not there in a classroom, you really don't know what was being taught either way.
Right.
And having that stuff just thrown out there and somebody make a point against them. Public, it's one thing if you
I'll give
have.
you one small thing that one of the teachers identified on Dane Undivided, was criticized for publicly shaming her students when what she was trying to do was create a very unobtrusive way of telling the student your mask was down. So she created a card for when your mask is down, and she walked by and tapped the desk with her, put it on the desk as a reminder. I can't think of anything further from public shaming than that. It's a quiet reminder that most kids aren't seeing of that particular student. You're not naming the kid, and those are the things that all the teachers, when they see that, well, what can I do in the classroom? If I can't do that, what can I do? And if I'm being criticized for it, what else do you want me to do in this district? I think that's the sentiment I'm getting. And so,
Yeah, Joan and I were at the middle school. Yeah, there were teachers that said, can bring back the early retirement. Don't take it.
That was-
And that, that we're gonna be losing a bunch of people. And, the reality is, they're gonna go to a different district with the same stuff going on, but they don't know the families.
right.
So it's easier to deal with it with a different community, because you haven't. You get that feeling of,
Is this
Who's who?
Divided Dane, their website, is that Waunakee, is that?
Actually, it's not a site generated, to my knowledge, from Waunakee specifically. It covers all of Dane County. But right now, Waunakee is the focus on it.
I wasn't in your conversations that you had in the last meeting about this. I certainly want the teachers to not feel anxious about teaching in our schools. I mean, we want to support them. I'm just wondering about if this goes along with our communication plan. Like, I don't want to, we have a communications director, we have, that they're the ones that are, driving a communication plan, and I just want to make sure that we're not, like I said, please don't think that I don't support the teachers, because I do. And we came up with a statement that came out in the paper on Friday, and we sent an email today, and in conversations, and, want to make certain that that message of support is continued. But I just want to make sure that we have a communications director, and that this kind of thing goes along with our plan.
I think part of that, Kate, that's a good question. I think part of what Andy's role is certainly there's times when the board is going to send out messages or send out pieces. I don't think there's anything within what's written here being proposed that's outside of that.
Okay.
I think it's probably a piece that I believe she's seen these, so it's more that it's making sure that it's presented in a way that's congruent with kind of how we can communicate. But the board certainly has an ability to communicate. This is one of the ways we do that. And I think that's actually part of kind of her plan, is that one of our stakeholders is obviously the board and the community. But I don't see anything that's outside of that or that interferes with the plans that she has in place.
and as we discussed last time, I mean, it might be people where they're just unaware of that stuff's going on. And if it brings it to light, maybe it's not a bad thing. Say, this is really going on.
With what Katie said though, is it Annie, the one that releases this then? Is she the one that submits it?
It would probably be, she'd probably be the one that would release it.
I mean, that would make sense then. If she's our,
She'd release it. It would have, like, I believe your names on it as the board, but she'd be the one that would kind of facilitate that.
do you think this? I'm putting myself in being a teacher. Does it do anything for me? Does it?
I think I've gotten around to about half of the buildings right now. I would concur with Western Share. I think that does it change anything? Not necessarily, but I think that it carries a strong message to the staff that they feel supported by the board. And I think that's an important piece. So I've heard that pretty much in every building I've done.
My wife and I put out a piece in support of our teachers, and I get a lot of feedback from teachers. Saying thank you. You don't know how much it meant to actually hear somebody say that from the community.
So,
Do we need a motion to?
I do think we should have a
I
motion.
make the motion that we use this letter as a form of communicating to the teacher and publish it in the places that you stated.
Starts off with it being read at the board meeting next week. Is that
Right.
correct?
Number
Purple
3,
one,
The purple one.
The one with the-
One that's using our branding colors.
Okay, so Judy made a motion. We have a second.
second,
Any other changes, comments? Everybody's in agreement? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. So. When should we read it? Mark, do you want to read it?
I think it's stronger coming from the board person.
Okay, and I'm happy to. read it.
Yeah,
I just
I like
don't want to take the words away from you.
I'll make sure it's on the agenda.
I would like to read it maybe first after we approve the agenda, before we even get into the reports. Right up.
Right at front.
right up.
Yeah.
That good with everybody? And we will, after we read it, it will appear in the Tribune that week. Rebecca, will take care of that, and then Annie can. And then email it to the staff. After we
Yeah.
read it.
Yeah.
Monday. All right, I think that's the end of our meeting. Katie, don't think they're all this short.
I know how.
She's
We'll let you
enough
make
of them.
the, motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
All right, so it's a motion. There you go.
Thank you.
There we
Second.
go. Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.